Hi, I'm Graham Lasso, and you're listening to Eat, Sleep, Chelsea, Repeat with Chris, Craig, and Brady.
Eat, sleep, Chelsea, repeat. Eat, sleep, Chelsea, repeat. Eat, sleep, Chelsea, repeat. Eat, sleep, Chelsea, repeat.
Welcome to the Eat, Sleep, Chelsea, Repeat pod. Headline this week: Chelsea don't tune up again in a big away game. I'm Chris, and today I'm joined by my good friend Brady. How you doing, Brady?
Yeah, a bit harsh. I thought a point at St James's Park was a Christmas miracle, to be honest.
It was a miracle, yeah.
This is probably going to be our closest pod to Christmas, so we should probably say Merry Christmas, good tidings, and all that sort of thing for our Chelsea family. Yeah, so Merry Christmas, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, or happy holidays, or if you're not celebrating anything, just enjoy the time off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Some time off is needed probably for Chelsea. They've had such a busy period, and this one was another harsh reality in some of the how to prepare for the games potentially. But it ended Newcastle 2, Chelsea 2, goals from Voltemade for Newcastle. We got both of their goals. Some reprise for his efforts the previous week. Reece James for Chelsea and Joao Pedro equalised. Some stats for Chelsea: 53% possession, 79% pass. Actually, that's very low for us. 4 shots on target out of 13, and 3 saves out of 5 for Rob Sanchez. Talk to me about your likes or dislikes for this one, Brady.
I think the like is in the Poch season we lost 4-1. I think it might have been 5 or 4-1. I think it was 4-1.
Yeah.
I remember Sterling scored a free kick and we went up. But yeah, we collapsed, basically. 2-0. I mean, obviously, you've got the Jackson caveat, but we lost Jackson red card caveat, but we lost 2-0. And we're 2-0 down in this game. And sometimes when we're playing badly, I really get angry. But this time it was just sort of like this acceptance, just like St James's Park away. It was just never going to happen. So I was kind of in this kind of like malaise of just like apathy. But then they just turned it around. I was watching it on TV and I came back a few minutes later, second half, and we scored. And I was like quite surprised actually. And it obviously got us back into it. But yeah, it's a game that I was surprised that we came back in. I mean, I think it could have been 3-4 first half for Newcastle, let's be honest. But obviously, when you look at the odds, you're probably looking at about 10% chance of actually going from 2-2 to 2-0. That's the odds usually. But it felt lower. It felt like we were dead and buried, to be honest. We didn't have any attacking subs we could make, really, that he would go to. So to get 2-2 they showed some steel, and you've got to give them some credit for that.
Yeah, definitely. A bit of credit in the bank for the comeback. I think my like for this game was certainly around those lines. I think it was a bit of quality, which we've been lacking in the final third, I guess, if you count the free kick as well. But we didn't really do much in the game, but we took our chances when they came. The key ones, obviously, the free kick, huge quality from Reece James out of nothing, basically. And then, obviously, the mistake. But we took it. We didn't miss that chance because, you can't afford to miss that. And that was the real difference, because obviously Newcastle missed so many chances in this game, which is obviously what led them to not take the 3 points. So yeah, I think taking our chances is my like. Quite happy with that.
I think it just shows tangible progress, and when you look at the results, I mean, there's plenty of games. I mean, look at the stats here. Newcastle had 7 big chances, we had 1. 2.3 XG for them, 1.22 for us, like you said. It looks like we just got away with one, but there's plenty of games where at Stamford Bridge that we're the home team, we've got these stats. Like there are just games where you just dig it out and you just get a draw, and you just we probably should have been dead and buried in the first half, like I said. But if there's a point there to be taken, and to be honest, in the second half, if you look at the second half statistics, I mean we had way more XG, and we had 1 XG and they had 0.3. So in reality, we could have it would have been a robbery if we won the game. But we could have. And when you're putting yourself in those positions rather than just kind of limply, just going back down going back down the M1, kind of feeling sad, at 3 o'clock on a Saturday, and it ruins your weekend. I think it was tangible progress.
What are your dislikes?
My dislike is a bit of a macro one, so you have to bear with me here. Brentford away, we had 0.3 XG and conceded 0.5. United, we had crumbs, obviously, because we had 10 men and they had 1.5. XG, we had at Forest, we had 0.4, conceded 0.5. You can see the trend. Leeds away, we had 0.4 XG. XG conceded 0.6. And Newcastle in this game, we had 0.24 and they had basically 2 XG. So it's a combined XG of basically 1.4 and conceded 5.1. Now, so basically, our XG is nowhere compared to our XC, X conceded. And, in the United game, obviously we had 10 men. But these first halves away are terrible. It's 200 minutes, really, of just poor football. I mean, Forest away, and I know we joked about Ange going, but we were lucky to win that game 3-0. Leeds away, we were already 2-0 down. We were 2-0 down in this game. Brentford, I think we were 1-0 down. And yeah, you can blame it on rotation, red cards, some poor away foot. When we rotate, it seems that it affects the team a lot. But the first half's away, you can't just be a Maresca save job every time. You can't, you can't be losing games 1-2-0 away from home. You're just usually obviously going to lose them. So that's a real thing. And our next 3 away games are City, Fulham, and Palace. So if you've got, especially City and Palace, if you want a 2-0 down there, good luck getting anything. Really good luck. So we're going to have to sort it out.
Yeah. I think just the whole thing in the first half. I think just generally, when I watch Chelsea in these big games, big crowd, hostile atmosphere, I mentioned it a lot, I think, in the early games, when we lost up at United, Bayern Munich. It's the same thing every time. Just don't really. The mentality just seems to they just sort of fold. So bizarre, and they don't know how to. They don't know how to play their game in that environment. They haven't been coached well enough to say, well, the environment's like this. We should try and play exactly the same way. And obviously, that's absolutely ridiculous. So, I didn't like the way Maresca set the team up.
No.
I think he needs to just take a breath sometimes and say, critical of him at Man United when he was very quick to make the subs without really thinking. I think he's just not thinking about the atmosphere, the occasion. Newcastle's just been battered by Sunderland, in terms of real physical. They lost that game. It was a big battle. They were poor in the game. And they created much at all. Rival fans, they're going to be right up for this game at home. And I just felt we turned up as if we just, play our game, get the ball at the back, we're going to get time on the ball. Absolutely not. And we need to have a better solution than whatever he's suggesting, because it's happening too often in these games. He's setting the team up to play almost like a home game when we're away from home. We've got to just batten down the hatches. You can be compact and tough to beat in the first 10, 15 minutes of games and then move out a little bit and get comfortable. So really didn't like the way we set up, and I just don't like these away games. I think we're just so badly set up for them, and he needs to address it going forward, because we can't turn up, at City playing like that. It's just a disgrace.
Kids like Leeds, Forest, and Brentford, they were the big rotation games this season, and we took 4 points for 3 games, but we were lucky against Forest. And I made a joke at the time that when I saw the Forest team sheet that he would make 3 subs at half time, and he did. He's good at getting himself out of a hole, Maresca, quite a lot. He is adaptable, he's not stubborn. You can't really compare him to Pep, where Pep will often, historically anyway, was wait till 70 minutes and just that's the team I pick. Maresca is flexible and adaptive in that sense, but you can't start the game with one hand tied behind your back, and it just feels a little bit like that in some of these games.
Yeah, well, you just got to, they talk about the dark arts, don't they, in football? Yeah. We don't seem to have any of them. It's all just sort of rinse and repeat. We should have been, Newcastle running at us at 100 miles per hour. we're supposed to be a team that can keep the ball. We should have been winning a lot of free kicks. Instead, a lot of our players were getting booked.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, just loads of stuff to sort out, I think, with that. But, every game's a new time to learn, isn't it? So, see what you can do up at City.
Dislike then from the game? Or
Say that again, sorry?
was that your dislike from the game?
Yeah, just the whole setup of the team was just really bad for me. I didn't like it at all. And the mentality, etc.
There's another dislike. I'm not saying Newcastle are a one-trick pony, but at home, you know what's coming, don't you? It's going to be the high press, the hyper press, the hyper energy, the crowd are behind them. I mean, surely you can. I'm not saying surely on the training pitch is something you can prepare for that, right? Like you knew that how they're going to press. I mean, assume so. It's almost like every time we go to St James's Park, we're like surprised, like, wow, they're really pressing us high. I don't know if I don't know whether they were just surprised by the way they pressed, or maybe there was a tactical thing like a tweak. And I know there's a lot of nuances and tactics. If they've set up the press in a certain way, we didn't expect it. I get all that. But there's just some times where the team that's completely shell-shocked that a team is going to press us high. And it can work to our advantage. We have a lot of pace up front. If you go long, like we ended up doing with Sanchez, you can really expose teams, but there's just no plan. As soon as we conceded, we're actually okay in the first few minutes, but then once we conceded, Maresca said that in his post-match presser, kind of like, that's what really affected us. I mean, the first half an hour was just woeful, and it often is up there, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, because of what happened in the Leeds game, it's just under, like, you can't defend that sort of performance. You can't expect.
Similar in the Leeds game.
Say it again.
It was similar in the Leeds game, right?
Exactly, exactly the same thing. Yeah.
They were not prepared for Leeds away. I mean, I know Leeds were on a bad run, and obviously Newcastle are a better team than Leeds pound for pound. But they must have known that Leeds would be bang up for it,
But this is what I mean about setting the team. It's like we're trying to play every game like a home game.
Yeah.
Like, you go out, get the ball back to as soon as they get the ball, if you watch Chelsea, the first thing they do is get the back four sorted and they pass the ball back to Sanchez. That's great if you're at home and you can play out from the back. Anthony Gordon and Walton Knight, they're running around like headless chickens. There's no time to get set. You got to be ready to go.
Yeah.
From when the ball's kicked, and they're setting up like a home game and these away games. They need to come up with something different. You've got to dream a little bigger than that for these type of games, and there needs to be a different plan. And at the moment, the same thing will keep happening. Man City are going to be running at us for the first 15, 20 minutes of that game on the 4th of January when we go to the Etihad. There needs to be a better plan, because otherwise we're going to be 2-0 down again at half time.
Yeah, I agree.
So we'll see. Right, let's talk a little bit about the players. Let's do temps.
Time to see whose form's on top, who's heating up, whose temperature's dropped, who's been playing well and who's not. It's freezing, warming up, boiling hot.
In the freezer, I think we've both got the same.
Yeah, similar
people
vibe.
In the freezer. I had Garnacho and Neto. I basically put the wingers. I think you've got Garnacho. I'll talk about Neto.
Garnacho. I thought Neto was slightly better, but I thought Garnacho. I mean, I thought that they're both pretty poor. Do you want to go first, or
I really had a big issue with this in the game. I had a big issue with this generally when we play. All the best opportunities which don't get registered. If you look at Chelsea's XG in the game, its second half was let's say 1 XG, right? 0.99.
Yeah.
This should have been 2.
Yeah.
The amount of good spaces we got in the 18-yard box to create basically no shooting chance from it is diabolical, and they need to. This is a case of should they go buy someone in January almost, but if the players who are there are going to play, they got to do a lot better than they are. I mean, I understand it in a low block where it's difficult. And actually, if you look at the very end of the game, they got to about 88, 89, and you can see Newcastle almost setting up really deep. They almost like a 4-5-1. We really couldn't do anything in the last couple of minutes. And that was really difficult. But during the majority of the second half, it was like 4-on-4, 5-on-4, and just nothing. And I put Palmer in there a little bit as well. I thought he was very poor.
He's looked rusty.
his standards.
Rusty.
But yeah, the wingers in particular, they have to do a lot better. Need to be able to hit crosses. One successful cross in the game is just not nowhere near good enough. So yeah, lots of issues.
Because I think there's a term in cricket. I mean, I've been watching the Ashes a bit recently, getting back into cricket. I don't know if our listeners will follow cricket, but there's
not the best time to be getting back into.
No, it's not. But if you're in good nick, it means basically, you're seeing the ball like a beach ball sort of thing. Like Garnacho's a good nick. And I had a similar freezer last year. I think Madueke scored against Southampton, and I actually put him in the freezer, and you two were surprised. But he could have had 4 that game.
Yeah.
Form is temporary, right? Class is permanent. They always say that, but form will come and go. When you're in good nick, and I think all of our, maybe Neto not as much, but Gittins, Garnacho, even Esteval to a certain extent, very young. They're going to be streaky a little bit, I think, and so. I think there'll be times this season where Garnacho dips off a bit and then Gittins steps up. Garnacho was like red hot really after Cardiff, right? There's a lot of hype about him. 2 really good finishes.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad in this game, but there were so many scenarios where you're like, right, go on, just like, you in good nick, get the ball on target, or shit, he just didn't produce it. It was almost like a form play. You think, something's going to happen here. It just didn't. And the thing on Garnacho is, when the goals and assists are not there in a game, you really notice the other parts of his game. Off the ball, there's so many 50-50s that he kind of just, I wouldn't say melts, but he just doesn't go for it. Like even 60-40s in his way, he just doesn't go for it. You don't want to get injured and getting crunched, but there's so many where he could win a foul. There was actually a scenario against Cardiff, actually, I don't remember, where he was in the box and he could have got a penalty where the goalkeeper slid out, but he just didn't go for it. He kind of just like winced away a little bit. He scored 2 goals against Cardiff. I'm not having a go again because he didn't get a goal assist in this game. But when you're in, you're in. And when you're hot, you're hot. And it's like he could have really kicked on in this game. I think with a goal and assist. And he had so many shots and opportunities in this game. Yeah. And it was. I was just surprised at how poor his output was. After I looking at how it was in the game before. I mean, in this game again, look. He had 0.5 XGI, so basically, plenty chances to score a goal, but shots on target 1 out of 5, not good enough, and just successful dribbles 3 out of 4, but accurate crosses 0 out of 4, like you say, not good enough really. And the other side of his game just isn't there. I mean, he won 5 out of 9 ground duels in this game. Fair play to him, I guess, but just
he doesn't. He also, for me, he doesn't get back.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He's really, really bad at getting back into position.
Yeah, he is.
And he's got to improve in that. I mean, he's really of absolutely no help defensively to us, which is, contrast to Neto, who runs back. It does help.
Yeah. If you had Hato and Garnacho on that side, he'd be worrying because obviously, Hato's barely got any game time and he would need help. Cucurella, Caicedo kind of tucks in on that side and helps Cucurella out. They can't, Chalobah can come over and they can kind of block players out. But Garnacho, he's a bit lazy coming back and he's off the ball. Like he can be a killer in front of goal. The best thing about Garnacho is he often shoots with his left foot, but there's a couple of times here where he shot with his left foot where he really should have looked for a different option. And we were wasteful second half. And what I call X opportunity. There was you're right, there was like a whole XG probably that could have been turned into XG, but it wasn't because of a poor pass and we didn't get the shot off.
Yeah. And it was not, I mean, Garnacho had six shots in this game. They were all very forgettable.
Yeah.
Pretty hopeless. I don't think his shooting is particularly good generally. I don't think I've ever seen him really have a decent shot.
I don't know about that. I think the Carabao goal was good.
Yeah, but these are like finesse finishes. I'm talking about like a lot of his shots in this game were, almost on the 18-yard box, or that cut in from the right. We saw Morgan Rogers kind of give you a bit of a demo in terms of how to cut in and shoot yesterday for Villa. We're not hitting those dizzy heights, and that's the level you need to get to, and this is the level we need to get to if we're going to to win this sort of game. And Neto is exactly the same. I don't want to just call out Garnacho. I thought Neto was poor. decision making, shooting, the whole lot. Just they can't be this poor together. I haven't ever really seen it from Garnacho, to be honest with you. Fine, Neto's actually having a pretty good season. 5 goals and 3 assists. But yeah, Garnacho's got 1 goal. And we're at the almost at Christmas Day now. So it's just not conducive. This is the worrying bit for trying to get to top 4. These guys have to chip in more. And that comes from output. And that comes from creating the XG, which is on their shoulders. So, because that's just the way that the team's set up to be. They're the main guys. Palmer's playing the ball out to them. It's for them to then create the chance. It's for them to have the imagination. And at the moment, it's very drab in this game. It was really poor. Yeah. Lots to improve for those guys. I would personally go into the market for winger, but we'll see. Warming up. You've got Robbie Sanchez, who, he might be boiling hot at this point.
Yeah,
if goalkeeper's getting assists, that's pretty.
Yeah, he actually could have got an assist also against Everton. It was about Garnacho. He popped it over the top, and that's a chance that Garnacho missed, and that would have been a Sanchez assist. So he's been yearning for an assist. I just think with Rob, he wasn't spectacular in this game, but some of the saves. He was he was robbed of an elite save in the first goal. Trev slipped for the first goal, didn't he? So. It's an elite save from Gordon to get across. A really good save from Gordon.
Yeah, that went on. No one really mentioned that in the game. It was absolutely incredible with his foot.
Incredible save. There's been some highlight reels of Rob Sanchez's top saves, but on X today. But yeah, and there's another really good one. I think it was Voltamado Gordon where he just got a fingertip and it went over the bar. And a really good height claim. They never really bothered us from corners. Obviously, they got some height in there as well. We're just not really, famous last words. We just seem very solid defending corners to me. I don't know if it's set piece coach, but again, against Arsenal, where we have obviously had that tactic of taking the players out, but Sanchez's command of the box is so good. And now he's allowed to go long more. The errors are just not there, really. There's just not really many rickets. He does the occasional thing where he'll throw it at the back of a player's head or do something a bit silly. But the rickets or the heart in your mouth moments are just not really there. And it's almost like, well, when's it going to happen? Maybe it just won't much anymore. I can't really remember, other than the United sending off, really anything he's made a big mistake this year. Maybe the second goal at Atalanta wasn't great, but other than that, he's been top really, and I think he's been very good. 0.67 prevented XG in this game, so. Newcastle scored 2, but really their shots on target was 2.67. So, if you're preventing that a game, that's 25 goals per season. That's a lot of points. So,
I think he's close to. I think you don't think he'll ever win Player of the Year, but he's definitely in that sort of top 3, top 4 players of the season so far. I'd say for us.
He's a bit of a Schmeichel as well in terms of when the players do. Some players aren't like this, but when they do something wrong, he just gets into them. He shouts visibly at the players. When Tosin made that mistake, he was just in his ear. What are you doing? And there's so many times where he's angry and he's animated. He does not because no goalkeeper likes conceding goals. But when he concedes a goal, he's physically angry. And it's just.
I think he wants this clean sheet thing, right? I think he's desperate.
Yeah. Him and Raya are probably going. Donnarumma's getting up there, but him and Raya are probably going to be going toe to toe for the Golden Glove. He's clean sheet percentage is over 50% this year. That's elite. You can say it's fixtures or whatever, but we've only got 2 more fixtures left in terms of we played everyone. If he gets a clean sheet in the next 2 games, which is viable, he'll have 10 clean sheets in 19 games. That's excellent. Fantastic.
Almost. Technically, played Bournemouth twice. Be City.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But
because we played them the other day, didn't we? 0-0.
Oh, right, I see. Yeah, but still, if he's going to be getting anywhere near to 20,
yeah, it's still very impressive.
If you get 20 clean sheets in a season, you can win the league, right?
He should get his flowers. I think he should get his flowers. People need to just accept it.
He was getting his poison ivy, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, this is it. They're quick to jump down his throat, but ultimately, if you look at last season without the mistakes, he was exactly the same as he is now. Also, the players are slightly better. Obviously, we had a lot of Disassi and Badiashile
I
run-outs,
think
which isn't helpful for anyone.
let's say he went down injured. I mean, touch wood he doesn't. Let's say he goes down injured in the next game. You're like, oh my god, we've got to play Jorgensen for a while, and we'd be like fuming.
I
Like,
think
you
they
just-
would. They would move in January. I think for
yeah,
that.
and that goes a long way. Whereas
Yeah.
last year it was like, Sanchez has dropped. Maybe you'll give Jorgensen a go. Then you work out Jorgensen's so. He's okay, but he's not great. And Sanchez is just the defined number one now. And yeah, I just think he's just a very good goalkeeper. And now that he's allowed to go long, he doesn't really have the ability to make as many I don't know, like risky decisions, and it just helps him a lot with his confidence.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about. I had Pedro down warming
Yeah.
up. I thought this was a better game for him. He's actually. I mean, this is more of a. The bar was low, I think, for warming up in terms of how I don't think he was very good before, but in this game he was actually fairly decent. I like him on the ball a lot. He's very skillful, and there were a few moments where you can tell he's just very, very intelligent with a lot of his decision making as well. He struggles a lot with his back to goal, but I think in this game he was slightly better than we've seen him before. I think he's talking about learning, parts of his game. Obviously, if he's going to play in this sort of 9 role for us, so yeah, I think this was a good game for him. Obviously, the goal was very good in terms of the finish. I don't think Ramsdale's a particularly strong goalkeeper, but he still had to get it past him. Yeah, I was impressed with him in the game. I thought he looked like someone who actually might do something. It's a shame he didn't get more chances in the game. He kind of, I mean, it says what we were talking about before with the wingers in the freezer, where his best chance came from Sanchez booting the ball down the pitch rather than from all the touches in the area that the wingers had. So I think he deserves something out of the game. I thought he was really good for us, and I'm glad he got his goal and his finish, because he's had a tough time of it, Pedro. I think it's not been an easy period for him, but when the chances come, you've got to take them, and that's what we were missing with Jackson. When we talk about Jackson last season, he 100% probably would have missed that, because that's the sort of player he was. He just wasn't the best finisher, whereas Pedro, he just has that quality, and that's what you get. And it's worth a point in this game, and that might be important at the end of the season. So yeah, happy with him.
I think João Pedro's got a lot of ability, and in this game, I mean, he really did well against Tior, their defender. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. He's been actually doing really well. The guy they got from Milan, I think he's been one of their best defenders, and he kind of done him really from a long ball. I think he's got bags of ability. He's got good moments. He's got 5 league goals this year. He'll probably get 12 league goals this year, like 7 assists, not bad. I just think he's an attacker, not a striker. And I don't know how to define it otherwise. Like with Delap, you can say I don't really rate Delap at the moment. He's got a lot to prove to me that he's going to be long-term good at Chelsea. But Liam Delap is a striker, right? Like he can never play 10. Does that make sense? It's like he's...
Yeah.
He is what he is, right? So he's a 9 or nothing, really. Like, and I'm not saying you need that, but I do think we need a long-term 9. I think João Pedro is a very good player. Like I've said before, with lots of technical ability, and he's been in the Premier League a while, which helps. He didn't really have to settle when he came in, because obviously he's been playing the league for ages. He's used to getting bumped, and he's used to playing in England. But I don't think he's ever going to get 25 league goals, and that is what we need. He's a good player, and I think he'll be at Chelsea for a while. I don't see him going anywhere, but I think he'll just be 9, 10, back to 9, back to 10. He's clear. I mean, Reski even said that he prefers him in the 10. He was good in this game, but if he plays against Villa, you could easily see him not being great in the 9. I've said it before, I'm not going to buckle, because after one performance, I do think we need a 9, and I think they should go in the summer, but we'll have to wait and see.
All right, we'll talk about boiling hot, because I think we both got Reece James, captain, extraordinaire. I'll lay down a little bit of a marker here, and I actually don't think he was very good in midfield. But I thought in the second half he was probably the best player on the pitch, by a long way. The defending was unbelievable. That block, I think. I mean, that's match saving. Well, saved us from losing the game, and then the goal The free kick is.
You've got such a high chance of getting injured doing that, or just hurt himself. He absolutely piled in. There's no hesitancy in this game. He's just completely. When you get the players get their injury and they're worried about it. He doesn't care about that anymore. He's not thinking about being injured anymore.
There was a clip doing the rounds before the game or after the game, and it was like Chelsea. With the year we conceded 15 goals, it was a record, obviously.
Yeah.
Which I don't think it's going to be touched this season again. But yeah, it was, and it was Newcastle away, and they'd gone round. I think Czech had made a save, and the ball bounced out, and Terry had run on the line, and the guy had hit it, and he cleared it. That's what it takes.
Yeah.
And Reece James running back, that's what it takes to be at the top, near the top of the league. Is no game is perfect. No one's ever perfect in the game, but it's the key moments that make the big differences. And I think him at right back for me is where we've seen him at his best. Gusto, huge mistake for the goal in the first half. It just doesn't happen with Reece James there.
Yeah.
And those are the details that matter. And we can get too caught up sometimes in trying to play the perfect systems, quote unquote, and all this rubbish and inverted this, invert that. You just need to put the best players in their best positions, and then you get moments like that, moments of magic. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of Reece James at right back. I think that's an elite position for him. And I labelled him as useless before because he was never fit, but this season he's actually been pretty decent in terms of his fitness. So hopefully I haven't jinxed him now. He's not just gonna, don't know.
Well, the thing is,
tear his hamstring eating Christmas dinner.
The thing is like, if they say he's out for 3 weeks, you're not going to be like, oh, Reece James. He's played for a year now. Like players do get injured. It's not like he's never going to get injured again.
No. But it's when he goes down, it's like the Lavia thing, isn't it? He'll be back in a few weeks, and then you never hear from him for like.
But like, if he was out for a month now, I mean, it'd be bad. But things happen. So. But yeah, so I just think it was an all-round captain's performance. I mean, the free kick, there's just like, Trent can do that when he's at Liverpool, that kind of free kick. But there's no defenders in the league who can just take a free kick like that. Like, just step up and just do it. He's got so much quality on the ball. Just a real captain's performance. G's up the crowds when he scores. He's got the muscle memory. I always talk about this. I repeat myself. He's always got the muscle memory of being a Champions League winner. He knows that he's played in every type of football game.
That's so important, by the way. If you think about looking, how many people are making a debut in the Champions League for us this season? Almost everyone. Yeah. I think there was a thing that Gitten's the second most experienced player in the Champions League for us, and he's absolutely, he's pony. He's a rabbit in headlights.
And it's just Reece James he's the last man standing from 2021, isn't he? From the Champions League team.
Yeah, but it makes a big difference, that experience. We talk about it all the time.
100%. And I think it was just a real captain's performance. Right back, midfield, whatever. I mean, I do prefer my right back as well. And to be honest, I don't think Reece James in midfield. I mean, they were looking at midfield options, and it's clear there's a lot of noises. They're actually looking for a midfield option. Obviously, we're linked to Kobe Mainoo. Like Lavia's injured, Asugo's coming back. I don't think there'll be much room for James in midfield, to be honest. I mean, we've got a lot of DMs.
Good.
Yeah, we've got a lot of DMs and CMs. And I think Gusto's improved recently, but he's no Reece James, especially in the game.
There are just levels to the game, though. Like, he's fine in a lot of games. The home games is good for Gusto.
Yeah.
But this sort of game is not
Champions League final. Let's say we make the Champions League final this year and everyone's fit. It's Enzo Caicedo in the 6 and the 8, or the 6 and the 6. It's Reece James at right back. I mean, it's as simple as that, right? It's just that's the team. Or if Lavia's, whoever, Caicedo and X, whatever, and Caicedo and Lavia, or Caicedo and Enzo, whoever. Like, and it's Reece James at right back. It's that simple. So I thought he was fantastic, and it's just huge. It's just huge having him fit, and he's an elite player, and when your elite players are fit, and especially with Palmer, I mean, I'd say we've got 3 elite players, right? I think it would be, and Cucurella is maybe up there, but we've got James, Palmer, and Caicedo. Now, Fofana's very good, Colwell's very good, but I think players you could say that are around the elite fringe, you'd say, is Caicedo, Palmer, and James. Did you agree with that?
Yeah, agreed.
So, like, if Palmer's obviously a bit off, and Caicedo didn't have a great game in the first half in this game, actually. I mean, none of them did. But
I think midfield was a big issue.
if
For
they're
me.
all in the team, if you've got 3 elite players in the team and 2 of them are having a good game, I mean, you're on to a winner, really. It's not rocket science, is it? You know,
Yeah.
so it's just it's as simple as that.
Yeah. But yeah, look, it's. I think overall, I was actually really disappointed with the performance, but to get the win, to get the draw was really important.
And Harry Kane there when Spurs drew.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, Maresca does it all the time, doesn't he?
It's a Freudian slip, but it feels like a win. I was very happy with the point. I was actually very surprised we came back. And when the full-time whistle went, I was happy because it was a point that we just usually do not get, and that is tangible progress.
I don't see it like that, but I appreciate the point. I think conceding 7 big chances in the game is a scandal, to be honest with you. But
yeah,
that wasn't even Newcastle's best team. I mean, they were playing Miley at right back. That should have been.
I do think we were very, very poor first half. But you have to remember, we haven't spoken about Maresca. There's a lot going on around the club with Maresca. I don't know if it's affecting the players. I'm not making excuses, but
Nah.
You and Craig were very confident before the game. I thought, I don't know, Newcastle waste.
Well, that's what I mean, though. You know, you look at the team sheet and you go, "Oh, this is a really big chance to beat them," and then you watch the first half and you think, "But this isn't even Newcastle's best team."
Would have taken a draw before the game, personally.
You got. I'm waiting for him to come here and win these games for me.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it, but you take a draw, no? Like Newcastle away. Other than, in a way, I think we've got maybe a better chance against City because at least City play a bit. Newcastle at home, they are crazy good at home. Just in every format, in the Champions League, in the league, their home record is so good. So I don't know if it's the crowd or the energy, but they are incredible. So to get a point out there isn't bad. But yeah, it would be good to go up and win these games. But yeah.
I worry a lot about our attack. Generally, I think the top 4 things a bit of a concern with this attack. I just think there's a huge.
I think the problem with the attack, the top 5. Like, do you know our top 5 goal scorers in the Premier League this year in order?
Will be Pedro.
Two are tied at the top. Yeah, so there's 2
Neto and
ties.
Neto and
They've
Pedro.
got 5 each. And do you know who the next 3 are? They've all got. One's got 4. The other 2 got 3.
Enzo,
who's a 6 or an 8. Yeah.
James.
No, he's got 2. There's 2 above him.
Well,
he scored those goals at the start of the season. He scored against Liverpool. Belter.
Esteval.
No, Caicedo.
Oh, Caicedo. Sorry, yeah.
And then 4th is Trevor Chalobah. So your top 5 scorers. There's not. I mean, Delap's nowhere. Palmer's nowhere. Esteval's nowhere. I mean, I'm not saying they won't be there.
I mean, Jamie Gittins won't be getting near there either. And Garnacho.
It is chipping Chelsea at the moment, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you can win leagues by everyone doing 11, 12 goals. I'm not saying you need. I'm not that kind of dinosaur saying you need a 30-goal league striker. But the goals are very spread, which is good. But we really need Palmer. I think there's 20 league games left. I think we need 12, 15 league goals from him. And I know that's a lot, but we need him to really, really kick on because we just need goals in the team. Because Caicedo's not going to be getting 7 every season. Fernandes is not going to be getting 15. You need your Palmer and Delap needs to get some goals, Gittins, etc. They've got to start chipping in.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough.
Goals is what gets you up to the top 4, not your defence. Yeah. Defence wouldn't get you anywhere. So yeah, it's gonna, like you say, gonna need people to chip in or go to the market. Right, let's do a quick around the grounds before we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Bournemouth won, Burnley won.
Well, in this game, I mean, I thought I had Petrovic in my FPL team, and I thought he was actually going to keep me a clean sheet, but he didn't. But yeah, Burnley are funny. They keep scoring. They always score late goals. Burnley. They always get a consolation when they're 2-0 down. But this game they've got a point. I mean, Bournemouth they're stuttering a bit. I think they're starting to feel all the sales they've made, like Howson and all those players. I think they're starting to feel it a bit.
Yeah. Lovely to see Brozier back scoring.
Oh yeah, big up Armando. Yeah,
I'd love to see that. Semenyo scores again. Semenyo might be worth looking at. Brighton Hove Albion 0, Sunderland 0.
It looked like the highlights of this game could be done in 30 seconds. It looked like a bit of a stinker. But yeah, Sunderland, they just keep ticking over with results. And Brighton, I think they're in 9th now. And like I've said before, they're probably going to finish. They are 9th. They're probably going to finish 9th this year. So, Brighton, decent team, but not great.
Yeah, rubbish match, I think, this one. But like you say, Sunderland just keep knocking on points on the scoreboard. Man City 3, West Ham 0. This was the banker, wasn't it?
And there's death taxes, Haaland braces or hat-tricks. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's just amazing the amount of goals he's scoring. Better run. I've actually got Jarrod Bowen on my FPL wildcard, so I know that West Ham have got some big games coming up. And yeah, I think they're getting Strand in West Ham. They need some revive. They need some freshness, and because if they have a bad Christmas and winter, I mean, Nuno might be gone. So yeah, they need to do well in these fixtures coming up.
Speaking of Strand Larsen, Wolves 0, Brentford 2.
I mean, Strand Larsen, I don't know why West Ham are doing it. It's probably the worst penalty I've seen in years. Yeah, Brentford's first away win in ages, and if you're letting Brentford win at your gaff, you're in big trouble. I feel sorry for Wolves. I think you could say that maybe they could have done a bit better, and I'm sure they're they've only got, was it 2 points? I'm sure really if you're looking at it, they should really have 8 to 10 points, but they're gone. I mean, they're 16 points behind Forest. They're gone. I'm sorry to say, Wolves fans, you are down this year.
Yeah. I think I agree. It's just no way back, really. Surely. Tottenham 1, Liverpool 2.
Crazy game. Injuries, red cards, double red cards. Reminded me a little bit of when we won 4-1 there. Just a very chaotic game. Ekatike's really ticking. I do feel sorry for Isaac. I mean, scores a goal and breaks his ankle. I mean, it's just crazy how that move's gone for him. But I mean, there's been a lot of a friend of the pod, Jack. We were criticising Liverpool. They've got the same points as us, and they've had a bit of a disaster season. So they're kind of doing the basketball thing. They don't really draw. They win or lose.
It's a lot of points, that strategy.
Yeah.
And Florian Wirtz, who was the player to watch for Craig, finally got an assist.
You got an assist, yeah. So that's 1 in 15, madness. 0014.
0014.
We'll start calling double bond.
Yeah, so congratulations to him. Maybe it's the beginning of something, although I think he went off injured. Everton 0, Arsenal 1.
Saka and FPL on his team, and Saka's just giving away pity penalties to Gokora. It's unbelievable. I can't believe he gave that penalty away. Like when 0-0 at Everton.
Yeah, that's rubbish.
It was very poor. I mean, Arsenal it's a tough game, and Everton have got players at AFCON and injuries, so that helped them. Arsenal, but yeah, they just tick over, don't they? There's so many 1 and 2-0s, and that's why the title favourites, because they can just tick over.
Yeah, this was solid win for Arsenal. I don't think Everton will really ever.
I think if Arsenal win the league, I think that will be the word, won't it? Solid. that's what winning the league.
Yeah, Everton maybe should have had a penalty, but.
Yeah.
They basically did absolutely nothing in the game. Leeds 4, Crystal Palace 1.
Leeds beating us. We literally gave them the elixir of life. They were dead. And beating Chelsea, they just completely turned the season around. Even Ampadu scored. Even Ampadu scored.
Yeah. Chelsea boys.
Calvert-Lewin's flowing. Very, very unusual for Palace to concede over 3. I mean, any amount of goals really. Very surprised. And maybe Europe, and I know they completely rotated in Europe, but Mateta's got injuries, they've got managers minutes. Yeah, you might see Palace slip off a little bit second half of the season.
Yeah, I think that was always a risk with them.
Yeah.
Aston Villa 2, Manchester United 1.
And I can't actually believe Bruno Fernandes can get injured.
Yeah.
He pulled his hamstring and he was like, "What's this? What have I done?" He was like, "What's happened?" It's like, I don't understand the feeling, and he kept running, and he probably made it worse. I think Man United. I mean, obviously it was a Rodgers show. What a player! I mean, he had the ref cam of the goals, fantastic.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, really, 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 really good player. But I think Man United probably deserve to win this game. But when you've got quality like Rodgers, and that's what's happened. I don't think Villa have actually been that great this year. But there's so many games that are 1-0 down or whatever. That's, not doing that well, but they keep ticking over, and just results business, and they're playing really. They're winning a lot of football matches.
Yeah, well, it's all about taking your chances, and Villa are very, very good at scoring. Taking their chances this season. Like you say, Morgan Rodgers, elite player, absolutely unbelievable goals, and their title challenge looks a lot better than ours.
I've just seen everyone's 10 in a row, all comps. Mad.
Yeah, we've got them next, so we'll hopefully settle them down.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, that is I mean, just from a Chelsea point of view, that is a massive game. Because if
Yes.
they beat us and they're 10 in front of us, I mean, it's going to be very tough to catch them.
Well, let's talk about that very quickly. What's your prediction for Chelsea Chelsea Villa, and then you can tell me about Chelsea Bournemouth.
I don't know why. I just think we'll win this game 2-0. I've got a good feeling about this game. I think we'll turn up at home. I don't know.
Shining.
Like Villa, when they went to Anfield, and when Liverpool were really in bad trouble, and they just kind of gave over, and Liverpool beaten 2-0. The thing with Villa is, I know they're in really good form, but they can have off days. I don't know. I just think we'll beat them. I've just got a good feeling about this game. I'm not sure why, but I do think we'll beat them.
Yeah, well, when we're at home, if this is an away game, I'd probably say we win. But I think at home we've got a good chance.
It's got a week rest. Basically, everyone's
I think
fit.
Could just be could be like a draw or something. But I think we've got a better chance. We got a better chance than most teams, I think.
Of course, yeah.
With Palmer back, so.
Yeah, and it's a really, really important game for us. So we have to beat them to stay in the top 3 race. So to keep.
I think if we lose that game, that's going to be.
That's a mountain to climb.
Well, then I think people will really start talking about this top 4, top 5 stuff, and because Liverpool have got Wolves at home, so you would expect them to win.
It's actually a real opportunity for us, because if we beat Villa, we'll go 4 behind them, and then Villa go to Arsenal. So if we can beat Villa and obviously if you win 2 games in a row, then everything's good, obviously. But if we can win the next 2 games and Villa lose the boat, we'll be 1 behind them. And they've got a very tough game after us, so it's a really, I would say it's like a swing. It's like a swing event, really.
Yeah.
And we've really got to keep tabs on Villa, really.
Yeah, because otherwise we could get left behind a little bit, and we'll be hanging around with Man United.
I will say for Villa though, they will go deep in the Europa League, very deep, and you know what Emery's like in the Europa League. That could affect their league form. That might save us. Yeah,
and he'll go for the trophy as well.
He will definitely go, because he's missed the Europa League, and they'll be gagging for their European trophy. Obviously, I think they're.
Well, one thing is he knows how to win trophies, Emery. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But quick word on Bournemouth at home. That's the game after. Surely that'll be a win.
I'm actually a bit more worried about that game because of the 3-day break. Yeah, it's very
because of the rotation, isn't it?
Again, like I'm confident. The good thing about this is at Christmas we've got 2 home games, right? Like having 2 home games, just the logistics of teams having to travel around, and like Villa have got to go to London, and then I don't know if they're going to stay in London. They probably won't stay in London. They've got to go up and go back down to London. Bournemouth have got to come up. Having 2 home games is really nice, and it just around Christmas it's even nicer. So I'm confident for both games, to be honest. I think as long as there's not too much rotation, I think we've got a really good chance to win both of these games, because we've got some really, really tough games after. We've got City away, Fulham away, Palace away. These games are coming up, so yes, so many big games at the moment. So yeah,
we'll see. Yeah, I actually think we will beat Bournemouth.
Yeah.
So that'll probably mean we won't then. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But like I say, it'll be a rotated squad, so the danger begins, I think, when we start doing that, doesn't it?
Look at it, because we've got a day every 3 games. We've got Villa on the 27th, Bournemouth on the 30th, City on the 4th of Jan, 7th of Jan we got Fulham away, 10th of Jan Charlton away, and then you've got the League Cup semi-final against Arsenal or Palace. 4 days later, you got Brentford. We're going to be doing a lot of pods. There's a lot of football at Chelsea. I mean,
January. But that was the whole point of having like quite a bolstered squad, is that we could get through it. But it almost seems to be like the worst part of it.
We have no week break for months, absolute months. So yeah, it's going to come kicking fast, and it's time for this team to kick in gear. Like the rotation is supposed to keep the team fresh for the second half of the season. So let's see the players like Gittins, Delap. Looking at players like that who haven't really had any minutes, we need them to Esteval. I mean, Esteval obviously is young, but Esteval, all these players have got to turn up, because we need where when you're rotating, that you just don't fall off a cliff form-wise.
Yeah. Well, look, we're going to watch it all unfold. Hopefully, everyone stays safe and enjoys their meals at Christmas and has a few drinks or whatever. And we'll be back after Christmas to talk through the chaos and see where we've ended up. But thanks very much, Brady.
No worries.
That's all we've got time for today, so we'll be back. after Christmas, so stay tuned for that. But for more updates on all things ESCR, you can follow us on X at Eat Sleep Chelsea and Instagram at Eat Sleep Chelsea Repeat. As always, we hope you're carefree wherever you may be, and thanks for listening.